Good morning and welcome to another episode of Truck Camper Cooking. In today's video, I'm posted up on the beautiful Southern California coast, and I'll be introducing a new video series today called Brew and Review. I'll be brewing up a cup of coffee and reviewing certain products. In today's video, I will be reviewing my full Starlink setup, as well as a high-level overview of my electrical setup that helps keep this camper powered off-grid. Let's get right into it. If you are new to the channel, I'm in the back of my homemade aluminum truck camper on the back of my Ford F-150. I absolutely love this truck camper. It allows me to cook meals, make coffee, work remotely, go on fun adventures in the desert and the mountains, and it's just been a really fun process to build this thing out and get to really use it on the road. Just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm pretty excited to get this series kicked off with a Starlink review and brew up a good cup of coffee. Before I go into a full review of the actual Starlink, I did want to highlight some of my electrical system so that way you get a better idea of how the Starlink is actually powered. So starting off, I have a 200 amp hour lithium battery. It is a LiPo 4 battery, and that resides underneath my slat bed. On the back wall here, I have a variety of electrical components that make up the full off-grid electrical system. First off, I have all of my connections that run to the battery. I have a 12-volt fuse panel which distributes the power. This is my Renogy DC to DC solar charge controller. It is also a DC to DC charger if I wanted to hook that up to my alternator. I have solar coming in, which goes through the Renogy solar charge controller, and that charges my 200 amp hour battery. I have a Renogy 1000 watt inverter, and this powers things like my laptop charger, little rice cooker. I can plug a phone charger in for fast charging right there, but pretty much everything else is 12 volt. So with this 12 volt distribution panel, I'm able to power my 12 volt lights, the fridge, the diesel heater, USB outlets, as well as the Starlink. I actually have a Starlink 12 volt converter, so that way the Starlink itself just runs off of 12 volt. And then on the roof, I have the Starlink flat mount antenna. It's actually the normal antenna, but I have a aftermarket flat mount system. As well, on the roof, I have two 100 watt rigid solar panels. With this system in Southern California with pretty decent sunlight, I'm actually able to stay 100% self-contained off of solar. The fridge runs 24/7. I'm able to use Starlink pretty much as I want. Having Starlink in an off-grid setup like this really is a good safety feature as well as accessibility feature. I can communicate with friends and family. I can look up items that I need on the trail. I can look at mapping software, and it's really just a really nice convenience to have. I don't abuse it. I don't want to, constantly be connected when I'm out in remote areas, but it is a nice feature to have, and how it's all set up with a self-contained electrical system makes it very effective. So this is basically the Starlink app, and I'm going to show you guys a speed test to show what download and upload speeds I get in the ping. I have clear visibility to the sky, so it should be fairly decent speeds. I've typically ranged anywhere from 60, 70 all the way up to 230 megabytes per second. To have that level of speed is pretty impressive, as that is actually better than my home internet. So I'm going to show you guys a speed test. Alright, it's kicking off and it's already pretty good as far as the speeds go. Looking like high 180s. So I was able to get 184 megabytes per second download and roughly 20 megabytes per second upload. Let's see what it ends up on. Alright, so 184 megabytes per second download, 15 megabytes per second upload, and 29 millisecond ping. To me, this is just it's just bizarre. Having this level of internet in a camper on the back of your truck, pretty much anywhere I go, is truly bizarre. I really enjoy the setup. It's not too expensive. I got the hardware on sale, so I think I paid roughly $300 for the hardware, which is the router, the antenna, the cabling. I did pay extra for the 12 volt conversion. The flat mount setup is an aftermarket flat mount with a monthly subscription of about 165 bucks. This allows me to work remotely, have access to internet and communications anywhere I go. One thing I wanted to note is the power consumption. Starlink is fairly efficient with its power consumption. I think it pulls roughly 40 to 60 watts of power. Now, with my setup being 200 amp hours of LiPo4 batteries, basically lithium battery, as well as the solar on the roof, as I mentioned before, I'm pretty much self-contained. So the fridge is running, the lights can be on, the vent fan is on, anything can be running pretty much continuously. The Starlink I have actually left on by accident for about 2 days, and with everything else going, it brought my battery down to 50% and it took a day or two to catch all the way up to 100. So as far as power consumption goes, Starlink is not a power draw that is going to rob you of power. Items like using your inverter, things like electrical heaters, those definitely rob you of power. So that's pretty much it for the Starlink overview. I am pretty excited to kick off this series of brew and review. I want to showcase my coffee making and review products that I have in this camper. I have a big passion for the camper that I built, sharing it with you guys. Most of my videos are peaceful cooking videos, and I really enjoy making those. I enjoy seeing the feedback from them, and I'm really grateful for all of the views and interest in them. I do want to kick off this series to showcase more of the way I think, how I set up this camper, all of the components I selected. I tried to build this in a very efficient and cost-effective manner while still maintaining high-quality components. So as I change things and as I use these items, I want to introduce more of these brew and review videos. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you very much for being here. If this content is something that you do enjoy, let me know down in the comments, subscribe for more videos, and I hope you guys have a great day. Cheers.